Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Beastman campaign for Mortal Empires. Now today we're starting things off with a siege defense. As you may remember from the end of last episode, the army from Hochland had come to attack our Herdstone at Altdorf, and so it's up to the garrison there to defend the stone. Now, given the fact that the enemy has a lot of missile troops at their command, I decided to take advantage of our vanguard deployment, as you can see, to get right in the enemy's faces. Luckily for us, by doing this, we don't have to worry so much about taking a lot of missile shots, especially from the artillery pieces. So, these guys are going to be, in fact, make it a bit easier if I bring back up the unit cards. You can see what I've done is set up as many of my troops that are able to deploy in vanguard right up front so they can charge straight towards the enemy lines. We've got our Gors going across here and our Minotaurs on the right flank who's going to be carving their way through the enemy. Now, back here, we've got our Beastigors, we've got my Shaman, my Cygors, my two Giants, and the Manticore, because they can't deploy. They're going to be making their way forward to join in with the assault as soon as they can. And on my far left, I've got my Harpies and 2 units of Centaurs to come in and flank the enemy from behind. Now, the other reason why I'm rushing ahead to attack the enemy is because the enemy have got a whole other army coming in as reinforcements. Now, oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what this is the ability Vile Entropy, which not only reduces the enemy's range by 50%, but also reduces their ammunition by, well, a lot. As you can see on the bars at the top here now, it's gone down to nearly a third compared to what it was a minute ago. But they've got reinforcements coming in the far distance, and there's a lot of them. They've got lots of spearmen, there's lots of handgunners and crossbowmen, they've even got some Herdstone rocket batteries. And, we zoom in a minute, you can see we've got a gold wizard to deal with, a bright wizard lord, and 2 captains as well. So it's definitely in my best interest to deal with our first army as quickly as we can, and be in position then to receive the second. So, if I speed things up a little bit now, you can see the charges are starting to come in. I've got 1 unit of Minotaurs, well 2 units I should say, just carving their way through this unit of Spearmen. Wow! I did not realise until now how quickly they went through them. But, because of that, I'm bringing them over here now, hoping to go after the artillery pieces. And you might have actually saw then some shots from the Herdstone rocket batteries, all the way back here. They've managed to take some shots in, and luckily for me, because the Minotaurs are monstrous infantry, there's not really a lot of them, so when the enemy's shooting down here, they're attacking a lot of their own troops. And there goes my cycle for an extra rocket, and a Vile Tide for extra fun. I do like the little effect, you can see the insects flying away from the blast, very cool. But, at this particular point, things are going extremely well, minus the hailstorms, which are luckily quite inaccurate. And given that we're in this blasted, burnt down forest area, it's actually doing okay for us. It's hitting some of the trees, making things much easier. But, at this point, you can already see we've carved away through a lot of the enemy's force from the beginning one. Spearmen are still hanging on here a little bit. If I swing over to the left, my Centaurs and my Harpies have been busy going after the enemy's skirmishing units. I did have the Manticore here actually go after some of the enemy's war wagons, which he did a really good job of them, I must say. He managed to devastate all 4 of them very fast, which is great, because war wagons are an absolute pain to deal with, just because of their ability to move and shoot at the same time. And they do have a bunch of armor and things like that. Now, fortunately for my Minotaurs, they're about to take some seeming gold. I think that's what the spell is. It's been a while since I've played with the gold wizards. But yeah, I think it's like searing gold coming in from the sky, as you can see. But it's not doing as much damage to them as I thought it would, given the fact that they are monstrous infantry. But the Hellstorms are still blasting away. The second army is not really sure what they're doing. They're just piling together into one big mob. I am being careful as well because we do have these war wagons coming in. But what I'm trying to do is over on my left flank now, you can see that I'm bringing Centaurs and my Harpies around to flank the enemy's troops. What I want to try and do is bring them around behind the enemy line so they can go after the Herdstone rocket batteries here. And luckily for me, I just noticed that we had a miscast by one of the wizards, blasting away, debuffing a bunch of the enemy at the time, and with Vile Entropy as well, going after a lot of the ammunition and supplies, certainly making things a bit easier for me. Anyway, if we head back up here, again, because of all the artillery and the missile troops at their disposal, instead of waiting for them to come to me, I'm rushing down to go after them. We are trying to be a bit careful. You can see a fireball being blasted then by the Wizard Lord, and everyone else is just blasting away. They do have a lot of handgunners, Free Company militia which can fire while they're moving, but it's in my best interest to try and get into melee as quickly as we can. I am using troops as and when I can. You can see here we've got some Gors going after the Spearmen here, losing decisively. My Center Gors here have now gone after the Herdstone rocket batteries. Unfortunately, because of how close they are to the edge, they're going to be able to retreat off the map and survive. Most unfortunate, but at least we managed to eliminate them from this battle, which is the main thing. Harpies are still having some fun. This time these guys are going after the mortar war wagons. And at this particular point, we've got the enemy on the back foot. A lot of their troops are just Free Company militia and handgunners. These are guys that are always trying to skirmish away, and I'm chasing after them with whatever I can. Over here, unfortunately, my Manticore has taken a ton of damage thanks to the enemy captains. It's now rampaging as well, which has not helped us, but it's okay. We're sending in reinforcements. You can see my Beastigores are just having some fun. And somewhere around here, where are they? Where are my giants? Oh, there they are. Now, because of whatever reason, I ordered my giants to come in and attack the enemy front line in the First Army, but for some reason they ended up stopping and not moving, which was annoying then because I didn't realise for some time. So you can see this giant has not actually killed anyone, and the other giant here has only killed 2 so far. I think by the end of the battle he kills about 12, so it's not as good as everyone else, but it's doing okay. Anyway, at this particular point now you can see that the enemy have basically chain routed. Lots and lots of them shattered, one after the other, and the battle belongs to us. I'm going to be spending a few minutes now chasing down as much of the enemy as I can. Unfortunately, some of their units, like the war wagons in particular, all the way back here, are going to make their way off the map. But between my Centaurs, my Minotaurs, my Harpies and everything else, we are going to chase down a fair few of their infantry. And with all the other units scattered around the map, like here for example, it soon will be a massive defeat for the enemies with very few losses on our side. I mean, you can see here, we've practically wiped them out despite being outnumbered nearly 3 to 1. And we only took about 300 casualties, so very, very impressed. Anyway, I shall see you guys back on the campaign map. So there we have it, a heroic victory for us, no losses on our side in terms of full units, and we managed to do quite a lot of damage to the enemy forces. Unfortunately for me, more of them escaped than I was happy with, but I can't complain about a heroic victory in all honesty. It's just a shame I wasn't able to completely destroy the crew for the Herdstone rocket batteries, but they did deploy quite far back, so they were able to get off the map quite easily. I must admit though, I was a little disappointed with my giants, because I was throwing them into the thick of things. They did take a little while to get into the battle, but still, the fact they only managed to get 1 kill in this one's case, and 12 in this one's case. Very disappointed in them. But at least the rest of the garrison made up for it. Now, what to do with the survivors? I think we're just going to devour them. Get a little bit of extra replenishment, because we do have this other army here from Midland nearby. So far, it looks like it's just them. If that's the case, oh, it's not just them. Okay. But given what they've got, even the fact that Boris Todbringer is there, I think we'll be okay. But we'll just see what the rest of the turn gives us. Oh, actually, hang on. Aldenbrand, ooh. Decisive victory for us if we auto-resolve this with Slugtongue. You know what? Why not? We'll do exactly that. A decisive victory, the entire army has been wiped out, and we managed to get a little bit of favour, but we'll take the replenishment instead. Oh. Okay. Well, looks like we're going straight into another battle, this time against Wolfram Hertwig. He has got quite a few units, which I'm a little concerned about. Units like the Empire Knights and the Knights of the Blazing Sun. But the rest of his army is not that big a deal. In fact, what do they have? Grenade launchers. Oh. might be a little bit more difficult. Well, let's head back down to the battlefield, guys. See how we do. So here we are, guys, at the second battle of Altdorf. Now, since the plan worked last time with setting our troops up in vanguard and rushing straight towards the enemy, I figured if it's not broken, there's no point fixing it. So, we're charging straight forward, especially since the enemy do have Herdstone rocket batteries this time, so it was in my best interest not to stick around and get my troops blasted to death by their artillery. Now, something I do have to be careful in this fight is the enemy's knights. They do have some Knights of the Blazing Sun back here, as well as another unit on their left and right flank, and they do have some great swords, which are going to be not exactly annoying, but they are going to definitely hold up some of my troops, which is exactly what they're supposed to do, really. They are stubborn like that, after all. But if we speed things up a little bit, you can see we're going for the same plan as last time. Charge forward, taking advantage of our entropy to reduce some of the enemy's ammunition, and just charge forward as and when we can. Now, unfortunately for me, the knights proved out to be more of an imitation than I expected. I did try to deal with them the best I can. I had some minotaurs here, for example, go after the enemy greatswords initially, and I wanted them to swing in and go after the Empire Knights because of them being anti-infantry. I had my second unit then originally try to come around and attack these, but they end up chasing after them instead. That's fine. I'll allow my Gors then to go after them instead, and such a close range blast from the Hellstorm. I was like, wow. I remember seeing that in the battle. I was thinking that what on earth were they aiming at? But luckily they didn't manage to get any hits in. That's something, eh? Anyway, you can see here we've got our Empire Knights now going up against some of my Beastagors. Despite the fact they're saying is losing, they actually did okay in the fight. And I am supporting them a little bit with my Ungol Raiders. It's basically because these guys skirmished away when Wolfram here ended up trying to attack one of my units, and they skirmished away. But luckily for me, I was prepared for him, and I had my giants sitting around waiting for the opportunity for them to get into combat with them. So you got this one here going after them, but we've got one over here smashing its way through some of the Knights of the Blazing Sun, just to help deal with them. And if we zoom up a little bit, you can see back here, my Centaurs and my Harpies are doing the same thing as last time, going after the enemy's missile troops. So we've already got one unit of Free Company Militia running away. The Gors are taking a few hits because I forgot about ordering them around, but I soon ordered them to come back after them here. And we got over here some more Centaurs, trying to be careful not to go after the Outriders because I felt it'd be a waste of time. Even though these guys are tired, I do find them annoying to chase after, especially the standard Outriders, because of the fact they do have this ability, from what I don't know, is it the Outriders or the Pistoliers? Have the ability to move and shoot. I'm pretty sure it's both. In fact, I can easily check, can't I? If I switch over to this, just to make sure I can get the unit card. Yeah, fire while moving. It doesn't mention there, but it does say there. Anyway, as you can see though, things are going relatively okay. We've still got a couple of stubborn units of the enemies hanging around the place. Luckily for me, we've got a bit of a vile tide blasting away the halberdiers. That turned out to be surprisingly resilient against my troops. You can see my unit's losing, their unit is losing, these guys are losing decisively, and I'm trying to help out a little bit with the raiders blasting down on top of them because they do have relatively low armor. But, yes, the fight's still going on nonetheless. Over here, I've got my Manticore chasing after those war wagons. As I found out in the last battle, sending him after those is really effective, and so I continued that plan. Got other troops then trying to help out where possible. Beastagors rushing in to just try and hold the enemy in place temporarily while we finish them off. If we head over to this side, you can see the Gors have been dealing with those greatswords for quite some time. There was originally Beastagors here as well, but I pulled those back to try and help out in the centre, so we managed to break them luckily for us. And at this particular point, the enemy's army just shatters completely. One thing I will point out, if I can find him again, is back here, my Cygor ended up getting involved in the action, because this unit of knights originally came chasing after these units of, no, not these guys, where are they? There was a unit they chased after, and I realised, oh, my Cygor is right next to them, I might as well charge him in, and then they got them running. Unfortunately though, the character's leader is going to be able to retreat off the map. In fact, if I can spot him, here he is. I did get my Ungor Raiders to try and shoot at him, reducing his armor down and health to 315. So I was quite happy with that. It meant that he would have to try and recover his health, or if we tried fighting him again, it would be easy pickings for our force. But at this point, all we're doing is chasing down as much of the enemy as we can. Some of them, like the Outriders you'll see on the campaign map, managed to get off relatively scot-free. Others, though, will be wiped out, and it's, again, a good victory for us. Not as good as the previous one, as you'll see, but nonetheless, I'm quite happy. But with this, guys, I think it's safe to say we can head back to the campaign map. Don't have to say, Legless the Elf here, though, before we go, is not going to be having a good time, as surrounded as he is by these Minotaurs. Yep, definitely not going to be having a good time. Anyway, on that happy note, guys, see you back on the campaign map. So there we have it, a close victory for our second defense of Altdorf. Now I must admit, looking at the enemy casualties, we managed to do a much better job this time against them by wiping out a lot of their forces. The only survivors is actually Wolfram Hertwig himself, badly injured though, a unit of handgunners that were able to escape the map, and the Outriders, which was just fast enough to get out of the way. Oh, and a few knights, but nothing there to worry us about. So, let's go ahead and get some more replenishment. And let's just see if we have to handle any more attacks at Altdorf. Or do we get a chance to replenish the garrison a little bit? So, as we start our turn, the first thing I see is that we've picked up the Predator of Drakewall trait for Molokh Slugtongue, giving us a few bonuses for forest battles, which aren't exactly common, but we'll see a few of them as we hang around in Talabecland and the like. What else did we get? Enemy killed. Oh, a Dawnstone, okay. Gleaming Pennants. Okay, not too bad. Right. So, let's get started on moving our forces back into the Empire. Now, I do want to bring some people to Altdorf because we've got a bunch of armies nearby, and I would like to try and hold Altdorf as long as we can. So luckily for me, Malagor is quite close by. What's going to be better if we try and move him, though? Ambush? What I want is to try and get within reinforcement range, and I don't think we'll be able to. No. Damn it. Alright then, well, we're gonna make our way up to here anyway. I'm hoping that the presence of Malagor's army is going to be enough to stop any of the Imperial armies nearby from trying to attack us. Although I say that, and I noticed that Glibford Volspanker is leading an army. Unfortunately, we don't know what he's got, but, yeah, that's something to be concerned about. Alright, who else do we have near here? Morgul, right. Let's send you over here as well. You got 19 out of 20 men. We could do with another unit here, but it's okay. We'll get you jumping over way away. So once we've dealt with Altdorf, what I'm going to do is send probably Morgul to get some experience by going after Grunzint and taking out the last remaining elven stronghold in the mountains. Once that's done, we can send these two then up into the northern part of the Empire, where you can see that some of the settlements, Talabecland instead of Nordland. Talabecland's managed to control quite a bit of territory, and Hochland's returned with Brasskeep and Wolfenberg. Right. Over here then, we're going to have Molokh and Goros focus on this part of the map, and unfortunately for Albric here, he is right in the middle of my two armies. So, let's grab Molokh. I think I'm going to let Goros go after this one. So you're going to come here, and you are just going to go straight in and attack. This will be a pretty easy fight, given the two armies we've got. So, oh, I say that, and we're still going to lose this unit of Gors. Funny enough, these guys always take the most casualties, but that's fine. I'll quite happily take one of those units if it means wiping out the enemy. And we will go ahead and get some replenishment. Managed full, cultist, sword of swift slaying. Ooh. Extra armor-piercing damage for Goros, as well as corruption in the local province. I'll take that quite happily. Right, next job. We've got a couple of units here, and we're also in position to go after Krugenheim. Is there anyone else nearby though? We've got Needlin down here to the south. And let me just check Wurtbad. Yeah, Needlin Krugenheim does... No, Talabheim itself does not count. What does this one have as a blood ground? Karpenberg, Wolfenberg. Okay, so we can go after Hochland if we took that. What about this one? No, that doesn't count. But it does include Brass Keep Middenstag, not Middenheim itself. God, some of the decisions by Creative Assembly for the blood grounds really don't make much sense. You know, like Hergig's right here, and it's got Middenstag and Wolfenberg, but it doesn't include Middenheim, even though it's right next to it. Some of the weird stuff they've decided. Anyway. Slugtongue, I'm going to get you to go after Needlin, because we do need to go after it. So you do that. Then you can go after this army here, just to quickly wipe them out. There we go, nice and easy. Alright, we'll take the replenishment yet again. Enemy killed. Nightbane. Those are some good bonuses. It's a shame for the artillery, because we don't really have any. I mean, a Sigurd doesn't technically count. Alright, let's move you up to here. Between the two of them, this will be an easy fight. We may not going to lose any units after all. So we'll do that. 11,000, we'll take it. You can now retreat, and it's given us a little bit of movement, so you're going to get replenishment. And let's go for some Slangors to replace. In fact, I'm going to replace you as well, just so we can have 2 units. There we go. I picked up Juggernaut as well, managed force. Okay. So that's you guys now done. You can move a little closer, so let's just get you to do exactly that. And then who's left? You've moved, you've moved. Ah, Gore. Right. So at the moment we do have Sir Hattori laying siege to Avenheim. How are you doing so far? It's going to be a decisive victory anyway. Ugh, fine. Just in the interest of getting a bit of extra progress done, we will raise an advance, because I don't see the need to do anything else. Okay, picked up Nightbane for you and Enchanted Shield. Okay. Let's get you to come and attack this army here. Again, a bit of extra experience. Like so. Alright, we only lost 1 person in that fight. I mean, 1 Beastman, I guess. And finally, County of Avenheim has been defeated once more. We'll pop for all of these. And as for Gore, my original plan for him was to actually come over here, but it looks like, yeah, Tempelhof has been taken. That's unfortunate. What I might do now is move him down here instead. We'll take back Drakenhof, and then we'll be able to secure the area, or at least a fair bit of it. Alright, so Hattori will just have to replenish his numbers. I'll quite happily leave it as he is right now. Alright, you can head over there eventually. And anything else done? Alright, Morgul's going to get some extra units. You're all done. Let's quickly go through then all of the skill upgrades we need to give. Okay, so Sahatori's actually finished all of his magic at this point, and picked up Immortality. Let's go... Oh, actually, we're finishing off his combat skills, aren't we? So we'll go for that. What else does he have in the army? Bunch of these. The Chaos Spawn definitely stand out. So let's have a look and see what boosts that. I presume it's going to be this one. Yeah. We'll grab that in for the Chaos Spawn. Snenzel, I think you've done it. No, you haven't. You've got plenty of skills left. We'll go for Unnatural first then. Goros still needs to work on his combat skills, so Banquet of Flesh for the charge bonus. Now, let's go for... Finish off this, the thick skinned and extra armor. Anrak, let's give you 2 points in Mantle of Gork. Okay, Anrak, the Brass Bull. Which one do we want to go for? We've gone for this one in the past. Melee attack plus 15. Causes terror for Minotaur units. What do you have in his army? There's only the 1 Minotaur unit, so I don't see the need to necessarily go for this one. Sorry, this one. Let's go for this one instead, the Unrelenting Warhead. Go for the extra melee attack, for something a little different. And we'll go for another point in Thick Skins. Okay. Now, one thing I did want to look at, we've got 1,729 Dread. So let's click on here. And I'm looking at another hero to join our force. At the moment we've got Malagor. We already got Goros. Although, apparently we can summon him in still. Don't know how that works. It must be because of him being a mod character. But do we want to go for Malagor, Kazuak, or Tarox? Now, I haven't actually had any experience with Tarox. But I think it could be cool to actually have another shaman. So I'm going to go for Malagor. We'll gain him. Now, the only question is, am I able to recruit the army straight away? Okay, we can. Oh, we could have gone for a Great Brave Shaman anyway, because of course we have Santori. Whoops. Forgot about that. Okay, so the fact that it says Confederated, was he still alive then? Let's have a look. Gore the Heart Eater. Hattori. Oh, here he is. Right. Do I want him to stick around here then? I mean, he's got a reasonable army to him. Bunch of Minotaurs, he's got Chaos Spawn, Giants, and all sorts. He has got a few Ungors, that sucks. And he does have a reasonable upgraded there. The thing is, though, we can easily move these to another army. It's just a case that I don't want him down here. There's no reason for me to be down here. So I'm going to just go ahead, disband all of them. I'm going to have to swap him out quickly because... Oh, actually... Replace Lord. Can't replace him. It may take some time. Oh. He might end up dying if he attacks somewhere by himself. Sure. We'll deal with that in the following turn then. So, Malagost, Morgor, Gore, Molokh. There was a hero. Why, you. Apparently I can't disband you either. Maybe it's because we've just confederated with them, technically. Oh well, we'll wait and see what happens. Okay, Boris Todbringer has made the wise decision to actually move away from Altdorf. Meaning now that we actually get a bit of a break from getting attacked there constantly. Oh no, wait. I lied. Here comes Volspanker. Oh! Wait. Malagost actually gets to reinforce. I thought he was out of range. Okay, I'll quite happily take that. Sure. Auto-resolve it. Goodbye. And yeah, I'll take the captives and replenishment. Thank you. Okay, I did not expect that. Helmet Fewer back, though. We'll have to deal with him at some point, too. Ooh, Masamune's Pride. Now, this is one of my favourite magical weapons. But not just because of the weapon damage it does, but the fact that it has Wind Blasts that you can use 4 times in a battle. Definitely want to give that to one of my characters as soon as I can. Alright, return from duty. The Winds of Pain is going to give us extra magic. Given that we actually start off with a reasonable amount already, it's really going to help us out. It's going to just boost it up so we start every battle with full magic as long as the Winds of Pain are kicking in. Now, let's have a look. Bagar is at level 3. To be honest, I'm really not that fussed about here. So if I grab Morgul, can I now swap you out? No, we still cannot. Okay. Well, you're going to be taking a long trip to get back and then to join up with our force. In fact, what I might do, slow you down a minute. In hindsight, I should not have disbanded his full army, shouldn't I? Because he had a bunch of Minotaurs and stuff like that he could have actually used. But I didn't think about that, did I? Never mind. Right, in that case, we're going to take advantage and start upgrading him. We've got a ton of favour, so I don't see why not. We'll grab that. Grab that. Let's see. Vile Entropy I'm quite happy to keep, and Impaled Corpses. We'll go for a Den for the Chaos Spawn. Keep the Fire Pits. Does he have a unique one? Oh wait, he does. That's one we've already built. Okay. In that case... What else do we want to try and go for? Going for some of these, maybe? We got that for that. We can go for a giant. We'll go for those. And then we'll need to use some of my dread in order to increase his unit count a bit. Otherwise, we can always give him some mercenaries, something to think about. Tell you what, let's grab, for the moment, the Eye of More Sleep. so we can recruit you straight away and have a Malagor in the army. Unit cap is at max, so we can't do much about that right away. And I'd rather not recruit any Ungors if I can avoid it. I'll take a couple of raiders, I guess. Let's go on our rewards of Dreadnought and increase some of our caps somewhat. So we'll grab some extra Minotaurs. I'll grab some of the... No, what if... Wait, we can get 4 Jabberslives? When did I allow that to happen? Oh, I have no idea, but I'm not going to complain. We'll go for this so we can get some more Chaos Spawn. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that for now. Do I want any of these to help out quickly? Distorted Reality, Vanguard, Blood Frenzies, Savage Dominion as part of a spell, Drunken Bravado, Ward Saves. Let's grab a Banner of Madness just because why not? Let's see, we'll give you Banner of Unholy Exaltation. And I'll grab you the Cloak of Disreality. Sorry, Unreality. That's a few nice bonuses when it comes to fighting enemies, so we'll grab that too. Got plenty of favour, so why not? Just have to make sure we give them out to people. Right. Can you get any heroes yet? You could, but we haven't got enough caps for them. Right. What I might do then is, if we move down, we'll come back to them. There is a guy down there, don't forget. So, let's move you over towards here. And I'm just thinking now, where would be a good target? Either Middenstag, or we can just go right for Middenheim as a target for our next Blood Ground. So let's move you up towards here. See if we can spy out any enemy forces along the way. Doesn't look like it. That's okay. You guys can rest up then. You can continue your path over. I'm gonna let you just come here. In fact, we'll pull you up to here. That way then, if anyone tries to attack Altdorf, you'll be a nice surprise for them. Plus it allows me to get an extra unit. Which one do I want to go for? Action Minotaur? Yeah, let's go for another Manticore. That would do quite nicely. Okay, Gore is going to continue marching towards Drakewald Castle. In fact... Oh, somebody is actually laying siege to it already. Crap. Okay, let's have a look and see what's going on over here. Oh, damn, Vlad. Obviously, Vlad wants to come back and re-establish Castle Dragonhof, is basically at this point his ancestral home. So, I can't begrudge him that too much, can I? Oh well, what would be a good alternative? Probably Waldenhof. It will give me Eschen, Nagenhof, and be able to head back up towards Karakadrin and take those territories. So yeah, we'll start making our way up towards Waldenhof as our next territory. Bear in mind that we've got a bunch of vampires we're going to have to compete against. Okay, so that's you done. Well, you are going to start making your way over to join up with Malagor. Alright, Slugtongue, let's have a look. Definitely want you to take our Needlin, so come over here and just do that for me quick. Decisive victory, as expected. Alright, 18,000, we'll take that. And then we can start moving you back up towards here. Okay, so Hattori, I kind of want you to head that way. But I just want to double check there isn't anything we're missing out on. I'm sure during the end turn phase I noticed there was enemy army coming around here. Although I could have been mistaken and be up there instead. You know what? It doesn't matter. We're going to move you to join up over here in Waldenhof. You'll get there soon enough. And then, who's left then? Goros is capable of moving anywhere I want him to. I'm about to head to Kappenberg. It gives me back then Zavastra, Castle von Walken, and Wolfenberg. Hergig will give me that. Middenheim. Okay, we might want to actually go after these then. Okay then. Let's start moving you into position over here then. Bear in mind, we'll just have to keep an eye on what Talabheim I have. Ooh. This looks like it's vulnerable. We're going to march straight in and see about taking it then. It's a decisive victory. No units lost. We'll just go ahead and do that then. And I am going to go ahead and raise a Herdstone. Although losing out on 77,000 favour was a bit of a sore spot. Okay, start of Darkoff. Right. Let's go ahead and go for the standard ones at this point. We'll go for this one and this one. Alright. Don't know what Adolphus is going to do. Are you currently a war... Who's this? One-eyed warhead. So Kazrak is still around. Okay. I'm just going to see. Ask him to join the war against the bounty of Hockland. And we hopefully will have enough favour to be able to persuade him. No. Coward. Never mind. At least we know where he is if we want to confederate with him at some point. Might be able to do that fairly soon, to be honest. Right, you can stay here, Goros, and act it for the garrison. You are busy there. Malagos is now moved. Okay, Morgul's moved. Gor's moved. Serhatori's moved. Molokh is moved. And you... Did I not send you... Oh no, that's a different character. No wonder we can't recruit any more shamans. We've already got 2 of them down here. And look. Clan Eshin have taken the Black Pyramid of Nagash. Wow. Queek Headtakers near here. Kleish Metabol. Okay. Alright, let's quickly do these. So Jindari can finish off now going for... Oh, he's actually got all those. At this point, we're just going to have to go for Specialist. Kaznor has finished all of those. So he's got Block Army. We'll just go for Wound then. Goros. Let's go Banquet of Flesh. Anrak can go for Savage Dominion. No, let's go for Earthen instead. Okay. So, a rather uneventful end turn phase, apart from one of my shamans down in the desert being, well, I say assassinated, he's been wounded. So that actually works out fairly well for me, because if I want him back, hopefully he'll appear closer to here. But the only other thing then is that I actually negotiated a defensive alliance with Grey Clan Molder. They've been asking me for an alliance for quite some... Oh, hello. Last stand. The Empire is in flames. Many of its territories are devastated or taken by its enemies. However, there is still resistance. Remnants of the Imperial Army, garrison forces, members of religious cults, and household troops have gathered to stem the tide. For the Empire. What's this? Okay. There's an army here then. Wait. Yeah, there's an army right outside Altdorf. A full stack led by Ulrich Hertzeller. Interesting. So look, it's got flagellants, it's got swordsmen, so this must be from one of my mods to allow the Empire a one last chance to at least take back Altdorf. Not that it's going to last too well for them, because Morgul's going to just come in and wipe out that army, but it's worth them trying at least, eh? Anyway guys, I'm going to end the episode here. But next episode, I would like to try and confederate with another lord, maybe Kazrak this time, so we can have a collection of all the legendary lords join us at some point. We'll deal with this army here, and then really just continue our attack into the remaining Imperial forces. Thanks to Musilan, it's actually gone pretty well for us. Like, once we've taken Middenheim and the surrounding area, that's going to be a lot of territory. And then we just need to really do things like push back up into Kislev, where Nordland, surprisingly, has taken control. Wow. Okay. They've also got a few territories down here. The Empire has still got some of the mountain holds of the dwarves under their control. I mean, they are getting pushed out of the Empire. They're just trying to scavenge where they can. But, yeah, so far things are going really well for us. It wouldn't surprise me if we've only got a few more episodes until the campaign comes to an end. Because once we've eliminated all of the enemy forces, we will be fighting the special battle, the Fall of Man, just to see how that goes. And then that will be the campaign over, at least the short campaign. I think then we'll finish the campaign for good, and focus on another one in the future. But for now though guys, thank you for watching today's episode, I hope you enjoyed it, and you do join me next time for some more Warhammer. Until then everybody, take care, and goodbye for now.